Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We'd greatly appreciate if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today, we'll be going over a Rolex Datejust 41 with a bright black dial, index hour marks, entirely in stainless steel, including the smooth domed bezel on an oyster style bracelet, reference number 126300. I'll be going over the case, the dial, the bezel, the crown functions, the movement, and the bracelet, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of these throughout the video. Alright, so as indicated in its name, the Datejust 41, it is 41 millimeters in diameter from finger to thumb. It also has the monoblock middle case and the screw down case back with the winding crown to ensure water resistance down to 100 meters or 330 feet below sea level. All right, as you can see on the front as well as the sides and even the back of the case itself, it is, well, not the back of the case, but the sides as well as the front of the lugs. It's all that's actually visible when it comes to the case. All of that is actually a high polish made of oyster steel. Oyster steel is Rolex's own proprietary in-house blend of steel with other materials, other elements, to make it extremely strong while also maintaining that super high polish that you can see on the sides. Now there's also a satin brush finishing on the underneath of these lugs, right? It gives a very distinctive diffuse lighting look, whereas on the front and on the sides you get a very exact reflective look on the curves here. All right, now taking a look at the bezel, again, a smooth steel domed bezel, smooth all the way around, and it gives a very distinctive look, especially on this sort of Datejust type of watch. All right, not anything too special to say about this other than that it's a more recent development in Rolex's catalog, I suppose, because the fluted bezel originally had the practical purpose of maintaining that water resistance, and since then technological advances have allowed for advances within at least the bezel making, and so you can actually have this smooth steel domed bezel sort of really appearing cohesive with the case and the bracelet all together. So it comes as a very cohesive looking package, a very good choice. All right, now looking closer here at the dial, we have what is called a bright black dial. If I move it at just the right angles, you can actually see that it does have a very subtle sun ray patterning or a sunburst sort of pattern on it. Very difficult to see in my camera monitor. I'm not sure if you guys at home can see that, but I can certainly see it with my eyes. It's very subtle, but it's definitely there. All right, the black dial I actually very much like, even though it is, well, it doesn't really have too much of a personality other than that it's very rigid, very professional looking, but I like it because it has very, very high readability. Nothing says contrast than black with white. The chromolite applications onto these applied index hour marks makes it very easy to read, exceptionally easy to read, even in the dark. Even if they didn't have the glow-in-the-dark capabilities for this, it would be extremely easy to read in very low light situations. And speaking of which, I'll just turn out the lights so you can see right now what it looks like without the lights on. All right, and camera's having a bit of trouble focusing, but there we go. A very, very bright, very bluish in tint chromolite display on the dial there, including the hours and minutes hands. It's exceptionally bright. It's almost actually clipping my highlights on the video. All right, so I'll turn the lights back on here. All right, so we can actually see now, as you can see the exposure changing on the video, you can actually see that sort of sun ray effect on that dial. A little bit harder to see now that all the lights are back on, but it was there for a second. You can go back and watch it if you'd like. Now, taking a look at the dial even more closely, we also have this sort of like a minute or seconds track on the very outer perimeter with Arabic numerals every 5 seconds or every 5 minutes, ending at 60 at the 12 o'clock position. All right, so quite an interesting design choice here. Gives it sort of like almost like a pilot watch type of feel, especially with the 41mm diameter, although this is certainly not a pilot watch per se. It's more like an everyday wear type of watch. All right, now taking a look at the functions here, the crown works as you would expect. Simply unwind it to the first position and to wind the watch. And if you're at a dead stop, it only takes about 20 to 30 full winds to get it fully wound to the maximum power reserve. All you need to do is simply wind it, and once you start feeling the damping starting to ramp up, once you start feeling all that resistance, that's when it's pretty much time to stop. All right, pull out to the next position, and note that you can actually advance the date by about a quarter turn, maybe even less than that. All right, while rotating it clockwise. All right, very easy to use. So if you find yourself on, say, the 30th of a month, you can just turn about halfway, and you can actually advance to the first of the next month. Very, very easy. All right, now rotate, or rather pull the crown out to the final position. This actually stops the seconds hand, known as a hacking function, so you can then place the minute hand precisely on that dial so that you know exactly where the minute hand should be in relation to the seconds hand. All right, pressing the crown back in starts it back up. Screw the crown back in tightly against the case to ensure that superior water resistance. All right, so what makes all of this work? It is the caliber in-house, made 3235, made by Rolex. It has a precision of plus or minus 2 seconds per day time differential. All right, so meaning that it actually exceeds COSC standards of timekeeping, exceeds Swiss standards of timekeeping. It's extremely precise. It allows for the center hour, minute, and seconds hands, the instantaneous date with rapid setting, along with the stop seconds for precise time setting, all of which I had just demonstrated with the crown functions. The oscillator has a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring and high-performance Paraflex shock absorbers. So what all that means to most of us, in general, in English, plain English terms, is that resistant to magnets, resistant to bumps, and bruises. So no real need to worry about the timekeeping ability of this watch when you're relatively close to normal everyday magnetism, normal everyday bumps. No issue there. The winder is a bidirectional self-winder with a perpetual rotor. So all you need to do is simply wind the watch completely using the crown, wear it on your wrist, and the natural movements of your wrist will keep it wound up to an approximate 70 hours of power reserve. That's nearly 3 whole days of not even needing to even wear the watch, and it'll still be keeping track of time just fine. You can set it down on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday morning, ready to conduct business. Nothing to worry about. All right, so let's take a look at the framing here. We have the bracelet, the oyster style bracelet with flat 3-piece links across, high polish along the center, complete with my fingerprints. All right, and also a satin brush finishing on the outer links with a high polish on their sides and satin brush finishing underneath. All right, very strong construction here. All right, now taking a look at the slight taper down to the folding oyster clasp, opens at just pulling the top open there. You can see the Rolex logo stamped underneath, and you know that you're dealing entirely with steel construction here. And underneath, I had it open. All right, now I've closed it. It is the Easy Link 5mm extension. So throughout the day, your wrist will change in size depending on your hydration, as well as the the climate, the heat or cold, depending on where you happen to be. So if you need that extra bit of space without ever actually having to add another link, you can simply reach underneath, pull it straight out, and there you go, another 5mm, or about a half of a link's distance. All right, this is usually enough for most people when with natural biological changes in your wrist size, right? And when you don't need it anymore, you can simply fold it back in on itself, press it back in, and it snaps into place nice and easy. All right, and while we're here, we can actually try it on and give you my thoughts as to how it wears on the wrist. All right, so Datejust 41 on the wrist, down the edge here. All right, so I can see that the way that the lugs taper, it's more outward rather than downward. So I do get extra breathability, at least on my wrist. I measure 7 inches in circumference, so I do get a little bit extra breathing room. For me, if you have a larger wrist, you probably won't get it as much, but the Oyster style bracelet does give enough ventilation for the wrist. No issue there either. All right, and when it comes to the overall weight distribution, it's pretty close to even, although I wouldn't say that it is perfectly even. It's just above the center of the wrist there when it comes to the weight distribution. All right, so more weight in the case, not as much counterweight in the bracelet, and certainly if you get the size smaller, you will get even less of that against the case, because you can't change the case size unless you get a 36 or even a 31 style millimeter Datejust. All right, so on the wrist overall here, I do get a decent framing of the bracelet to case, although I wish I had a little bit more. If I had a larger wrist, I can probably say that I would probably be able to get a better framing, but for my size wrist, a 7-inch wrist, I'm getting much more case, much more dial than bracelet. In terms of that proportion, not the optimal, but I can't complain when the dial is just so easy to read and so exceptionally large for its size, the 41 millimeter Datejust. All right. So I do very much like this watch because it has that black dial, very easy to read. I can just tell the time very easily at a glance. So, who is this for? It's just about, for just about anyone who's really starting to get into watches. This is a very excellent starting point. Datejust you can never go wrong with, and especially with the black dial, pretty easy to obtain. Very good price point as well in terms of the, the overall Rolex catalog and what you're getting for the money. And as per always, you're getting a Rolex. It's a Datejust, sort of like their bread and butter, their staple of their entire catalog as well. With the black dial, very easy to read. All right, but enough of what I think. What do you think about this watch? Let us know down in the comments below what you think about this watch, the black dial index style markers. All right, on the index or the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust 41, reference number 126300. Let us know down in the comments below. And be sure to like this video as it does help our channel out. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you can see more videos like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, go to jazztime.com. Links is in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.